My encounter happened on March 31st, 2013. It was around 3 in the morning. I've always been a night owl. I love the peacefulness of the night, especially cold nights like tonight. The night was going on like any other for me. I was talking with some friends on the phone and leaning out my window. I live near a railroad, so I'm no stranger to loud noises. What I heard tonight was no train. What I heard was the loudest blood-curdling screech I've ever heard. It was loud enough that my phone picked it up perfectly, causing my friends to ask me, what was that? It continued for a few more times before I finally got curious enough to go outside and investigate. Now, my area is no stranger to coyotes and the occasional bear wandering down from the mountains, so I'm no fool. I grabbed my machete before I went out, just in case what it wasn't friendly. I was outside for all of 10 minutes, looking around, seeing if I could tell what I had been hearing just moments earlier. I had started to go back inside when I start to hear what sounds like flapping coming from above me. I listened for a few seconds before I finally looked up. To this day, I still wish I hadn't looked up. I wish I had just gone back inside, because what I had saw was a creature that appeared to be in length 7 to 8 feet, with a wingspan of what seemed to be between 10 to 15 feet wide. But this part is not what struck me. What struck me was the eyes. Every time I recall them, I still get shivers. The way they glowed, the shade of red, it felt as if it was peering into my soul. This thing just kept circling above me, staring at me, and me at it. Finally, I snapped out of whatever trance I was in looking at this thing. I ran back inside. Now, I have 2 windows in my room. The one I was leaning out, which faces the railroad, and the one that faces where I was outside. Both of my windows were open that night. When I finally got back into my room, I could still hear the thing flying around above my house. This lasted for about 15 minutes. And then, silence. It was like whatever it was had simply vanished midair. At least that's what I had thought. I was wrong. Out the window facing the railroad are some tall trees, and when I looked out there it was, just staring at me, eyes locked with mine. It felt like an eternity had passed, when it was more like 2 minutes. Then suddenly, just as quickly as it had come, it was gone. I've not seen this thing again. It wasn't, though, until 4 days later that I realized what it was I had seen. There was an explosion at a nearby power plant. Now, no one was killed, but people were hurt. It was at that moment I realized what I had seen a few nights prior. Mothman.